In this episode, we're going to talk about my top 2 mistakes that I see people making when it comes to SEO and content creation. I'm excited for this. It'll be a quick one, so let's do it. Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. As always, before we get into today's episode, I would love to introduce you to the Up in My Business podcast sponsor, Jane. Jane is a clinic management software and EMR with a human touch. Whether you're switching your software or going paperless for the first time, the Jane team knows that the onboarding process can feel a little overwhelming. And that's why with Jane, you don't just get a software, you get an entire team. And that is the whole truth. Included in every Jane subscription is their award-winning customer support available by phone, email, and chat whenever you need it, even Saturdays. You can also book a free account setup consultation to review your account and ensure that you feel confident about going live. And if you'd like some extra advice along the way, you can tap into a lovely community of practitioners, clinic owners, and front desk staff through Jane's community Facebook group. If you're interested in making the switch to Jane, head to jane.app/switch to book a one-on-one demo with a member of their support team. And don't forget, if you mention the code LEX1MO, again, that's LEX1MO at the time of sign up, you'll get a 1-month grace period on your new Jane account. Welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. My name is Lex. I am the host of the podcast Up in My Business and the owner of Lex Lancaster Creative Co. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a longtime listener to the podcast or just a returnee, thanks so much for listening. I truly appreciate it. I get feedback from folks all the time about how much they enjoy listening to the podcast. So truly, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you listening. I will keep this one short. I keep saying that 2 weeks in a row now, and I promise this one is actually going to be short. So as always, we're going to start with life and business. And I think next week I'm going to focus on like just a life episode. I haven't decided yet, but I can, you'll know more next week because that's when I'll figure it out. So I'm going to talk about SEO stuff today because business update first. We'll start with business, we'll do life, and then we'll jump back into the 2 SEO mistakes that I want to talk about today. So business update, the waitlist for SEO School is closing this Friday, March 15th. I'm like looking at the calendar to double check that. Yes, I'm throwing around so many dates this week that I just need to make sure I have the right date. So this Friday, March 15th, the waitlist will close. If you're not on the waitlist, then you will not have access to waitlist pricing, the opportunity to get the early action bonuses, and also first dibs on seats. Last cohort, I did have most of the seats taken during the waitlist launch. So if you're deciding, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? It's a safe bet to get on the waitlist. I will say, full disclosure, I have been toying with a couple different structures as far as how things might change, especially pricing for the fall. I can't guarantee this at this point, but I do think that the current price that it is now will be the last time that it is this price. So I feel like people always say that in the marketing world, and they're like, this is the last time you can get it at this price. And I'm not trying to sound like some generic marketer, but based on some feedback that I've received, I may be increasing the price. I don't want to say drastically because I don't want it to, I'm not doing that, but it will be the last time I believe that it will be offered at the current pricing structure. So if you're looking to essentially get it for, the lowest amount of money, I understand it's still a large investment, but the lowest that it will be, then I would jump on the wait list to make sure you get that. You can find all the info in the show notes. I'll link the waitlist page there. Any other business updates? Really, there's not much. I want to just focus on SEO School. I have an email that went out or will be going out in about an hour that goes to the email list about practicing and how being, just practicing things makes you better and allows you to refine the skill and add on top of the skill and layer new things on, what have you. So if you didn't receive that email, just make sure you get on my email list in general, because you can find that. I'll link it in the show notes, just so you get these emails in the future. As always, if you want to leave my email list, totally cool. I get it. I also have 1 million emails that come into my inbox. So if you ever feel like you just want to not get my emails anymore, then no sweat. Easily unsubscribe from any of the emails that I've sent to you right at the bottom. Okay. That's really like my business update. Next week, I think I'll update on openings in my schedule and touch base on some scheduling stuff, but that's all I've got for you now. We'll jump into personal updates. Actually, let me back up. When you listen to this, it will be Monday, March 11th. I am an affiliate, aka Rupert and Moose are going to be living the best life for Shantae's Instagram intensive. If you're listening to this and you want to know how to use Instagram for your business and do it in a way that feels good, that allows you to post things that reach your ideal audience, that, truly does teach you how to use Instagram as an asset in your business, and I don't want to say monetize, but that is something that she does go over. To use it for your business, I highly, highly, highly suggest you sign up for the Instagram intensive. Anybody who comes to me in a discovery call or a coaching call and wants help with social media, I refer them right to Shantae. Like, there is no second guessing in that. I do not coach that. I refer them right over to Shantae. So if you're looking to learn how to use Instagram for business, I highly suggest getting in on the Instagram intensive. I'll put the link in the show notes. Once again, I am an affiliate, and obviously Shantae is my partner, but I have promoted this for the last 15 rounds, or this is the 15th round. So every round since round 1, I have promoted this course. It is the best, and it is done live. So you don't need to, set aside a ton of time outside of the calls to make things happen. You will get all the content on live calls. And if you can't make it live, then all the calls are recorded, and you have lifetime access to the community Facebook group and all of the new calls that happen for future cohorts as well. So I sound like I know a lot about the program, and it's because, yes, I do, but because not only am I Shantae's partner, I've been the Zoom moderator for all 15 rounds. So I think there's one round I was not the moderator. Anyway, just very, very familiar with the program in general. So if you are looking for Instagram help, that is where I would go. Okay. So I am going to jump into life things. My neck is feeling better. I'm still not doing exercises and things that I should be doing, but I am doing a lot of, I'm going to call it like neck, like getting my deep neck flexors to just on and like active and doing things. So I am doing a lot of that stuff, but I'm not doing genuine neck strengthening. I know the value of neck strengthening. Like I said last week, I treated concussion, so I know the value of that. But I'm just the worst patient in the world. So I digress. I'm not going to elaborate on that anymore. But my neck has felt good. I dove at volleyball today and I was a little shooken up. Not like pain, but it was like if I had dove one more time right away, I think it would have been pain. And not even in my neck. It's mostly in my head. So hopefully that's kind of going away. I'm also thinking like I have dove a million times in volleyball. I think the one that jolted me though was just a bad dive. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. And if it does, well, then we will figure it out. I went down to San Diego to hang out with Anna Hartman, Movement Rev's community at her mentorship event, her live event that she has. I took photos at the event. I absolutely love doing that. One of the things that I do like about it is that I edit the photos out of my camera. Of course, like I'm not just handing her raw photos. And then from there, I actually don't crop them because, I could crop them, make them artsy and what have you. But what I like about taking those photos is that she can then crop them accordingly. So she can use them on Instagram and what have you, and like put text to the side of her face or put text to the top. And so I really like doing it just because it does give her a lot of different photos to use. And I also take photos of the attendees, right? So like most of the photos are of attendees doing work on each other. So I think people really enjoy that because then they can use them. And then I also got to meet up with people that I only see over Zoom. And, I can think of 2 specific people that I have never met in person, but I've worked with them since 2020. So it's just so cool that I was able to be in the same place as many people that I don't get to see all the time. So huge appreciation for Anna. If you're not following Anna Hartman at Movement Rev, so Movement REV, if you're not following Anna, I'll link her in the show notes as well. Highly, highly recommend it. If I was still treating, I would be doing all of her coursework and using her principles when I treat. Now, I've been privy to understanding and being within her ecosystem for a bit now and at her courses and what have you. So I have learned a lot just by being there taking photos. And truly, it's just, this is where I would be starting my treatment. So she doesn't just treat help PTs and just movement professionals. I will say, like, if you reach out to her, ask her if her coursework is appropriate for you, and she could tell you yes or no. But she works with a lot of different professions and professionals in general, and also works with the people that she treats are professional athletes. So she also is still actively treating them. But it was just an incredible weekend. I was there all day Friday, so had a great, great time. Now, lastly, before I jump into this episode, I have to say, if you know Annette Zapp, AZ is what she goes by. She's Fire Rescue Wellness on Instagram. It is her official last week final countdown to retirement from the fire service. Her last shift is on the 15th, so this Friday. And I am just super, super excited for her. I first met Annette way back in, I think, 2019. And I had met her in person. I think it was actually in 2020. No. I met her in 2018, fall of 2018, because spring of 2019, I met her in person. And at that point in time, she had over 200, I believe, AZ, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but she had over 200 some odd shifts left as a firefighter. And now she's on the final week. And I don't know exactly how many she has as of today when you're listening, but I do know she's working Friday. And I am just so, so happy for her. So excited that she is retiring. So if you know AZ, if you're familiar with her, feel free to reach out to her, congratulate her on her accomplishment, and also just being able to, move to the next stage of her life. Just so, so excited for AZ. I know she's been looking forward to this and has also been a dedicated firewoman, right? So she has been a great, great, great first first responder, great first responder, and truly, truly, truly does the best work for other firefighters. So AZ, we all appreciate you. Anybody who gets to work with you loves you, and genuinely so, so happy for you, and congrats on your retirement. And I'm putting in parentheses almost. I'm so, so excited for you. So if you want to reach out to AZ, do so. You're the best, AZ. So congratulations. All right, friends. Now let's jump in. This, like I said, it's going to be quick because I have two things and I'm going to keep them very short and simple because it is short and simple. When it comes to SEO, there are two things that I see people really, I don't want to say they mess it up. It's a mistake. It's an error, because it's not. It's more or less like they just don't know about it. And so those two things that I'm going to talk about today are very simple to fix. One is a little bit more difficult if you don't understand the system itself, so I understand that piece. The second one is very simple and everyone can start doing it right away. So here's the thing, the two things, I'm going to do the first one first. I won't say them both at the same time. The first thing that I see people not do when it comes to SEO, and it's very, very important, is that they don't share their content. So I have folks that write great blogs, and they even have a whole new service page that they developed, and they never share it anywhere. So yes, it lives on their website, but they don't share it with any ecosystem they're in. So whether it's their email list, their business Facebook, maybe on an Instagram story, their LinkedIn, their Twitter feed, I don't care what it is, they're just not sharing it at all. So that's like the biggest mistake that I see people make. I say it's a mistake, and I don't want to use it is a mistake. It's not an error. It's a mistake. It's a mistake you just don't know that you need to do it. So very easy to fix, right? So when you publish a new piece of content, share it. Share it everywhere you possibly can. And I think that sometimes people will say, well, I don't want to annoy people. I don't want people to, feel like I'm always dropping new content, what have you. That's fine. But also understand, like, people that are on your email newsletter list, you could also be sharing it in a monthly recap and then putting it in your Instagram stories on a regular basis if you're publishing a blog, once a week. So share your content. If you're publishing new content, share it somewhere. Make sure people are seeing it and you're giving them the opportunity to see it. And I take a step back and I think, I know how busy I am every day. And I think about, the general population, who a lot of people that I work with have kids, they have, parents they might be taking care of, they have a lot of travel plans, they have work full time. People are busy. So if you give them a direct link to check out your new content, something that you've published for them, for their enjoyment and their education, amazing. Do that. The second thing that I see people not do, which is very understandable, is that they don't know how to operate Google Search Console and submit a sitemap. So Google typically reads your site by itself. I will say typically because sometimes it doesn't happen, but Google typically reads your website by itself. But for a vast majority of people I have worked with, Google was not finding their website, aka Google literally didn't know that their website even existed on the internet, let alone that they have content on there that they want to come up when someone searches something. So one of the things that we go over in SEO School is how to set up Google Search Console, how to read Google Search Console, and how to make sure that your stuff is being seen. So that is a simple thing that you can fix. But if you're not familiar with Google Search Console, I also understand that you're probably like, what the hell is that? Like, I don't even know what that is. Thanks for nothing, Lex. I get it. I understand. If you're someone who is, on the edge of being a little bit techie, you can probably, search it, how meta, and figure it out. But one of the things that people don't do is they don't submit their sitemap, and Google never finds their website. So it's very, very important to understand that can be a game changer in the SEO world. And one of my clients, Jen Perna of Vivid Women's Health, she and I met for a direct coaching call, and we noticed that her blogs were not indexing. So we ended up doing, we inspected her blogs and made sure that Google would pick them up, and her traffic literally doubled in 2 days. Because Google was finally picking up the blogs that it wasn't currently picking up. So there are small, minor, but huge things that you can do in order to improve your rankings and SEO in general. So those are my two things. One is sharing your content that you create, and it sounds so simple, but people just don't do it. So share your content that you create. And two, understand how to operate Google Search Console and submit your sitemap. And I know, people are probably thinking, great, I don't even know what you're talking about on your podcast. You think I'm going to understand SEO School? I can promise you there are people that are in SEO School that used to get on calls with me and say that they literally break technology when they touch it and that they hate technology so much. And those same people are operating Google Search Console after watching SEO School and being a part of SEO School. So don't fret that part. But because I got you. I teach it as if I'm a movement professional, because I am, right? But I'm teaching it to people who I know don't know this stuff. So you don't have to fret about that. That part I have got you covered. But that is the second mistake or thing that I see people miss. So share your content and understand how to use Google Search Console and submit your sitemap so that we know that Google is actually finding your website. Now, that's all I have for you for new content. And I'm going to make a quick little announcement at the end of this, because I recognize that I may have posted about it on Instagram, but I want to say it on here as well. And I'll probably send out an email about it at some point. Creative Law Shop has a medical disclaimer now as a template. Highly suggest, if you're putting information on your website, to put a medical disclaimer on your website that just says, this is not, medical information, is for informational purposes only. There's obviously legal jargon that has to be in there, right? Shop Creative Law or Creative Law Shop has created one, and I will put a link to it in the show notes, just so people who are starting to write blogs can also CYA or cover their ass, so that they, are letting people know if they're reading their content. It is just information. It is not medical advice. And if you need that, grab the template, fill it out, and put it on your website. And you can use Lex 10. Yes, it's an affiliate link. Moose and Rupert, thank you for helping them live their best life. It goes directly into their toy fund and their treat fund, if you will. Lex 10 will get you 10% off anything in the shop. And the medical disclaimer is not that expensive. I say not that expensive. I truly feel like legal documents are worth their weight in gold, especially if you're getting a template and not paying a lawyer fee of, $5,000. But that's a talk for another day. So feel free to check out that template, and then you can throw that on your website so that people know that it is not medical advice and it is just for informational purposes only. Okay, that's all I've got for you. I told you I'd keep it short. The actual episode itself was 10 minutes? Go me. I feel like I just have so much to say, and I could go on and on and on and on and on about SEO, but here we are. All right. If you have questions about SEO School, I would love to answer them. I'm also planning on doing, potentially, don't hold me to it, an Instagram live about SEO. Haven't decided when or where, but if you follow me on Instagram at LexLancaster_, then you will find out there. But if not, then you will probably just hear stuff about SEO School on the podcast and in my email newsletter. Join the waitlist by Friday if you want access to better pricing or the best price and the potential bonuses, as well as first dibs on seats. And join the Instagram intensive if you want to understand in full how to use Instagram for online business or your business. It's a fit for online business and brick and mortar business. So check it out if you're interested. All right, friends. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening. I will catch you next time.